Okay, what I have done is on Lucky Me, I have made each page. I already had the JPEGs. I put them in. I put all the links in. So like the Kindle button goes to From a Whisper to a Scream with my company's affiliate link on there. And I promised I would show you how to make a final page, like a final panel, to show how I make them. So the way we make panels, I'm going to save what I did to there. New document. I already have it saved as 775 by 775. If you're making something for like, maybe you're making a catalog just for the iPhone. So you would want it 375, or no wait, the iPhone, you'd want it 480 by 320. If you were making it for the iPad, for example, and it's just strictly a magazine for the iPad, 1024 by 768. The new things with HTML that you can do is you can actually have different versions of a website. And at the very beginning, with your media queries, you can actually tell when somebody visits your site, it can figure out what kind of device somebody has, and it can send them to a specific link for that device. Granted, when you start, making, you wouldn't want to make a website for every single device that's out there, but the main ones, Android, iPad, that kind of a thing, if you're trying to target a specific mobile audience, you might want to change your sizes. We've decided on 775 by 775 because on most devices, that scales down really nicely, or you can flip your device and you can see the page very well. So we go by 775 by 775 for just a generic. And I'm going to zoom out, and I'm going to fix my display performance to high quality display. Now, this is a little bit of a primer on how to use InDesign. InDesign is for print publications. But I have figured out that it's a very handy tool for me in the way that I work to make pictures really fast for the web. The reason I like InDesign so much is because it's really strong in its framing. So what I just made was I highlighted this rectangle frame for an X. And that way I can resize my frames and my pictures fit in there. So I'm pressing Command D to put a picture in there. And I'm going to actually use this charm bracelet one. And I'm going to tell the fitting to fill the frame proportionately. And now I want to view it. I'm going to go preview mode. So I can see that that's really kind of cool, but you can't really tell that it's a full charm bracelet. So I'm going to use this little selector tool here to kind of bring it around. So now I have a nice little area here for my text. I'm actually going to move it up a little bit, which is fine. Because what I can do is make my frame bigger, tell it fitting, fill frame proportionately. So I basically made my picture a little bit bigger. And I have more wiggle room on this bottom to move it up. Oh, I want to move it a little bit to the right so you see more of that heart. That's really cool for the Lucky Me, for the frame. And now I can take my text tool and I can say, thank you for browsing Lucky Me. Stay tuned for more great catalogs, for more great special edition catalogs from your friends at LoveToReadEbooks.com. You can join our parent site's mailing list below. TheCheapEbook.com publishes a weekly digital deals magazine and sends out regular free ebook deals. We'd love to reach your inbox. Okay, so it's really small, it's hard to read, so now I'm going to change the font size to 30. And you can't see it because you got to actually make your text box bigger. And I'm going to also make my text white because I think it'll show up better on that red background. So because this is print, it's actually paper is the color white. And lucky me, I'm going to change to italics. And actually the entire font, I'm not going to make Minion Pro. The newest kind of like trend is that really skinny type font that is not, what is it? It's Helvetica Light. Helvetica New Light. Yep, perfect. For web reading, Times New Roman is not a good font. Those kinds of fonts are serif fonts, I believe. You want sans serif fonts. Fonts that don't have the little like things hanging on the side of it. It's very hard to read that digitally. Oops. So lucky me, I want to have be light italic. Thank you for browsing Lucky Me. Now I'm going to grab this picture frame and move it around. Now that I've got my text there, I'm just kind of moving it to get the key stuff off. There we go. And I can tell it that I don't want to hyphenate because I think hyphenating is ugly. And just perfect. So there we go. And this is even kind of ragged on the ends here. So I'm actually going to highlight all of this and tell it I want to make it kind of justified. And no, that doesn't look very good. That looks better. And now I can move it back down again. So yeah, you just kind of eyeball it to play with it. InDesign lets you bring some of the principles of print. Excuse me. Excuse me again. Sorry, springtime in New England. InDesign allows you to bring some of the principles of print design to the web because you can use the tools that are in InDesign that websites don't often have very well, like such as the justifying your text, doing things like the text spilling over, and you can save them as JPEGs or export them as JPEGs. The downside of doing it this way is any text that you save in a JPEG, your web browser can't pick up. So things like the book description, for example, when you save that as a JPEG, the actual website is not in the markup language, so your search engines don't know that the magazine is about Cheryl Tardif's Submerged, for example, because those keywords aren't in there. You can override that with your meta tags for your website, like by putting all the book descriptions in your meta tags so that the website knows that that's what the thing is about. That's why we use the magazine basically to be a visual cue towards our articles on our blog. And then our blog is actually where like our text is just written so that it's indexed properly for search engine optimization. But this panel's done, and I'm going to go ahead and save it as in my Lucky Me folder. And it goes in my InDesign folder. And this is my back panel. Save. Then File, and I export it as a JPEG. Export. Come over to Muse. I'm going to drop it in. And then make it 775 by 775. Fitting. Fit content proportionately. Drag it in. Perfect. Now I need a box here. I need a button here to link to my mailing list. And remember, we just make a text box in Muse. So you highlight your text tool. Sign up today is what my call to action is going to be. And I'm going to make that white as well. And I'm going to make that nice and big. And we're going to center it. And we're also going to make it Helvetica New or Helvetica Light. I can be bold, that's fine. Now remember how I change my the fill. I'm going to go with a nice blue. And then my effects, I just add a bevel and it looks like a button. Ta-da! And you can even round the corners if you want to. Muse will let you do that. This little thing right here will round your corners if you really want to have rounded corners on your button. And then I need my link. Which I don't know that I've got on here. I don't. So I would go to MailChimp, log in, and my lists, the cheap ebook, sign up forms. My embedded forms. I think it's down here that I can there we go. That's my URL to sign up. If I put it in there, I can see it. And then Muse. I wanted to open it in a new tab, and then I just paste it in there. And now when they click on that, it'll go to my mailing list. I just want to make sure. Let's go with 1 second. So I'm going to save my site. I'm going to go ahead and publish my site, which is just as simple as upload to my FTP host. And again, I use HostGator. You just have to have FTP credentials and then know like the folder or whatever on your web server that you're wanting to put it in. So Love to Read eBooks is live. And now if I click on my catalogs button, there's Lucky Me. And here is my magazine. And it'll autoplay. I can also swipe. I can also click and go right to the end. And now if somebody's here, thank you for browsing Lucky Me. Stay tuned for more great special edition catalogs from your friends at lovetoreadebooks.com. You can join our parent site's mailing list below. Thecheapebook.com publishes a weekly digital deals magazine and sends out regular free ebook deals. We'd love to reach your inbox. Sign up today. I click that. I can sign up for the emailing list, so I'm capturing new people. Now, what I want to do to make a better blog tour is I already made Bookhaven its own spot. And what I'm honestly going to do, page properties, copy that. Is I'm just going to straight up duplicate this page. And it literally has made all of that same content that's on there. It's just an identical copy. And I'm just going to drag it underneath Lucky Me. And now I'm going to come in, because Leah's been so nice to say that she's going to host the Summertime in the Readings Easy promo. Now I just have to change all these links, remember, from my affiliate link to her affiliate link. So I would go back to Bookhaven to get her link. See more. And there's her tag, BFEOA. So I'm going to copy that little tag. And so in Muse, I just come to all these Amazon. This is kind of where I wish I had a, and I just paste it in. So now that one's fixed. This is also now Queen Mab is linked. No. All right, BFEOA. BFE, is it an O or a 0? BFE0A, perfect. BFE0A. A. Oh, I think because I didn't push enter. That's why it is. It's not saving it. That's a quirk of Muse. When you want to change a link, so that's in there, and I press enter. You have to press enter for the link to actually update. So now when I go to the end, it'll have that ending on there, the BFE0A. See? There it is. Same thing with this one. BOOOFARD4A. I make sure the ASIN matches, and then I go to the end. Perfect. So now I can go to page 3, this Kindle link. I just come all the way to the end. Highlight the cheap ads, change it, press enter. Same thing with the book cover. Go all the way to the end. Highlight it, paste it, and enter. And I would do this for each page. Go all the way to the end. The other thing I would do for Leah, for Bookhaven, is clearly she's not going to want on the last page my mailing list sign up. So what I can do is I can come back to InDesign and I can take it, thank you, stay tuned for more great additions. You can join our partner sites mailing list. Partner sites mailing list below. Bookhaven. I think it's .com. I'm not really sure. I have to double check that. Let's go back to Bookhaven. Bookhaven. There's the website right there. And I want to find her email, which she doesn't have a separate list. So I'll have to get with her about that. But what I can do is I can actually make it a like on Facebook. And this is really cool about Muse. On this last page for Bookhaven, I don't want this button. I'm going to get rid of it. Boop, gone away. So on InDesign, I'm going to say, you can join our partner site Facebook community below. And then I'm going to come over here and get the address for Bookhaven lovers and capitalize it for InDesign. Nope, I don't want the HTTP. Bookhaven lovers at blogspot.com. I'll look for her little thing. It's all about the love of books, whether it's e-readers or paperbacks. Join them for that. So I basically just take that same copy that she has, is all about the love of books, whether it's e-readers or paperbacks. Join them and I'm going to move this up so I've got more room. And they're not going to the inbox, so there they go. Join them for fun. So I'm going to save this as, this is back cover panel for Bookhaven. So I save the InDesign file, I export it as a JPEG, and then I go to InDesign, or I go to Muse, and now I don't want this picture there anymore. So I'm going to delete the picture, making sure I was selecting the picture, not the container. If you accidentally delete the container, quickly do an undo so that you're not doing that. I'm going to drop in the back panel for Bookhaven, because this is the Bookhaven site, or the Bookhaven version of the magazine, so that Leah, when she wants to share Bookhaven stuff, you know, she's collecting people joining her communities and stuff. And that's only fair. I mean, if book sites are going to work together on events, there should be an incentive for each book site, you know, to share really the dickens out of their link. So this is another cool feature of Muse. They have built-in social widgets. So under social here, I'm going to bring a Facebook like button right onto my page right there. And I want it to like, I don't want it to like the current page, I want it to like Bookhaven's page. So I'm going to go back to Bookhaven's page and I'm going to select this and put that into Muse. Right there. And I'm going to show faces. Okay. Now, unfortunately, you can't make these any bigger. So this is like the workaround that I do. I'll put that right there, okay, and just save it. And now what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put a big F. Because people know the F is Facebook, so it's a lowercase f. I'm going to make it super huge. So we'll make it 60 or we'll make it 150. Nope, Command Z. Let's see, 100. Okay. And now I'm going to make it Helvetica. And we're going to make it white. And we're going to center it. This is where you can get kind of sneaky. So I've got this F, and now I want to make the fill Facebook blue. You can actually even use your, to really get the right color. All right, so it's almost done, but it looks kind of boring. And we're not just going to bevel it. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to make the edges, I want to make it look like a circle as much as I can. So I did the 30 on all directions, and now I'm actually just going to make this okay, that's about as good as it's going to get. Maybe 50. 60? Now it looks like a circle. See, it looks like a big Facebook circle. It kind of looks like an oval, but now I'll add my effects, which is bevel. Now it looks like a cool Facebook button, doesn't it? What I can do is I can go ahead and upload to FTP host. This is a sneaky little workaround that I figured out.